What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle with JesseW, and today we're going to go over the top 5 mistakes new day traders make. Check it out. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this video here. Now, before we move any further, I'm just going to give you the first one right out the gates. I'm not going to ask you to smash anything, just the very first mistake new day traders make, that is trying to wing it. That's right. They just, oh, day trading, this must be easy. They download the app, right, for whatever it is, Robinhood, E-Trade, Schwab, Webull, it doesn't matter. Webull, link in the description. Fund the account with $100 and you get 2 free stocks. Now, they open up this account, they put any sort of amount of money in it, right? Sometimes a little bit of, a few bucks, a couple $100, and they play around with some 2 or 3 shares. Or sometimes if they have money or just frankly think they're gonna do it, so right out the gates, they throw a few thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in there and they start just buying stuff. They look at a daily chart or they look at a squiggly line and it goes up and down and they're like, well, every time it comes down here, it kind of bounces, so I'll just buy it here. And that day they buy it there, it doesn't bounce. It just keeps going down. And they're like, I'll just keep holding it because every stock goes up. And in this bull market we're in, healthy companies, yes, they do end up coming back up. But not healthy companies, small cap, low float stocks, sometimes just keep going lower and lower and lower, all right? Now, what happens here is, sometimes people will have some early success and they'll start feeling pretty confident and they'll start throwing more money in there. And they'll start throwing more money in there, right? More and more and more money in there. And they'll start buying stuff. And then what happens? They end up with some sort of portfolio. They're no longer really day trading. Maybe they're more along the lines of swing trading. And they just buy here and a few days later it goes up and they're like, oh, bet this is easy. Until the one day where they lose a huge chunk of money and they're like, whoa, this kind of hurts. So what do? They start looking into social media. They start looking at Facebook groups, at Twitters, at Reddit, like Wall Street Bets. They start looking into all these things and they start seeing people talking about call options or put options, and they start buying options without knowing anything, without knowing about time decay, without knowing about any of that. They just buy the call options or the put options and they lose massively, because when you buy options, losing 50% is very easy. Losing 75 to 90% is pretty easy as well, right? And they just start paying attention to that. Oh, somebody so-and-so tweeted about this stock, it must go to the moon. And it's a huge Twitter following, so the stock pops and they're like, oh my God, this is awesome, I'm making so much money. And then 2 days later, the stock crashes because they don't even know what a pump and dump is. So now they've gone from, oh, I lost money trying to do it on my own. I lost money trying to figure it out, like following just random Twitters or random posts on Reddit or random Facebook group posts, stuff like that. And they're like, whoa, what should I do now? Well, they end up then going towards some sort of chat room, a Discord chat room, or just some random chat they found on Google. Like they probably went to Google searches and they typed, day trading chat rooms or something like that. And then they just go in there. Okay. And this is something that I always, what's the word I'm looking for? I always stress to people, even if you join me at the daytraderchatroom.com, don't do this. Don't mirror trade. Get educated. There's a reason why at the daytraderchatroom.com we have courses and a huge video library. Okay? And why we keep adding courses. This month alone I'm going to add this swing trading course. Over the summer we're going to add the shorting course. There is a reason why we add this stuff, why we put emphasis on education. Because if you have no idea what it takes to trade, if you have no idea what a day trading plan is or what a swing trade plan is, if you don't know what a trade plan is, then you can't just go out there and mirror trade and think you're going to be successful. Because somebody's going to enter a position and you're just going to blindly follow. They're going to exit the position based on signals, and then you're going to be like, nah, I don't think that this is an exit. I'm just going to hold it because it dumped more than where they exited at. What? You're doing the same mistake over and over again. It's the same thing as trying to wing it. It's the same thing as following social media posts, okay? It's the same thing. All that mirror trading, it's the same thing. Okay, that's like 1, 2, and 3. Those are the first 3 things brand new day traders make as mistakes. The next one is PNL obsession. They obsess over the PNL. Because after all, you trade to make money, but they obsess over the P&L. They don't know how to trade. They don't know how to make money trading, but they obsess over the P&L. P&L obsession is absolutely a huge problem for new traders because it just emphasizes on emotions. Because when you see that drastic, huge drop in red, it hurts and emotions kick in. When you see that big green come back up there, it hurts in that you're like, I'm going to take profit here. And then all of a sudden it rips huge again because you had no trade plan at all. Okay. So now you've taken profits way too early. Everything. It's just like a huge lack of, you guessed it, education. Instead of focusing on the plan, instead of having a plan and focusing on it, they are P&L focused. They're P&L driven instead of process driven. When you're learning, when you're new at it, you want to be process driven, not P&L driven. You want to trade so small that the P&L is irrelevant because you're learning the process. The next step is, and this is like one of the biggest mistakes they make, and the final one we're going to go over in this video, and this is the doozy. They oversize positions. Why do they oversize positions? Well, because they've had massive losses, massive wins, massive losses, massive losses. So now they think it's going to take a massive win, which is true, to make back all those losses because they want to do it all in one fell swoop versus being focused on the process and making it back once they learn little by little over time. No, 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 no. My friend, they want to make it back now, right now. So they oversize their position. And when they oversize their position, they blow up their day trading account. More often than not. Okay. Now you might say, oh, Jesse, well, you gave me 5 reasons, or 5 mistakes new day traders make. Now we'll go over them real quick again. Okay. So what are those again? Oversizing their position, social media post following, mirror trading, okay, trying to wing it, and P&L obsession. Those are the 5 mistakes. So what is the answer to these 5 mistakes, you might ask? Well, getting educated. Truly sitting down and going over a curriculum, okay? Going over step by step from beginning to end, how to become a day trader, what type of strategies there are, what type of strategies might suit you, practicing those strategies, learning to manage risk, learning to control emotions. I have a whole video that I've made over, more or less over some of these, okay, recently. And now, some people are able to do that by reading, some people with videos, some people go through courses online. If you come over to the daytraderchatroom.com, there are courses, and at the end of each chapter, there are tests, quiz you have to take, and you cannot move on to the next quiz unless you pass that quiz. All right, so that's the emphasis we put on education. Come visit us, take a look around, and I think you'll be extremely impressed with our entire environment. All right, the daytraderchatroom.com. I'll leave a link in the description and comment section for you there. You can also come check us out on Mondays for free, or you can join us for 5 days for just $5. You can get a feel for the dashboard and some of the resources we have to offer. All right, so that's basically the solution to those day trading mistakes. It's getting educated, right? You don't got to do it with me, but at least get educated, all right, guys? Remember to smash the like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, hit that notification bell so you're alerted when I upload my next video, and I hope to catch you on the next one.